We are going to finish up our work on the Industrial Revolution today. So this short video will be instructions for this part of the project. So first, on the white piece of paper on the Industrial Revolution section, make sure you have these 4 pieces of information complete. What is the Industrial Revolution? When did the Industrial Revolution occur? What were some of the causes of the Industrial Revolution? And then, instead of effects, just writing them generally, we are going to write pros versus cons on here. There are a lot of effects that were positive and a lot of effects that were negative. So thinking about the positive and negative effects we talked about, you will write down here in this section, do you think the Industrial Revolution caused more harm or good, and explain why? So don't just say, I think it was good. Say, I think the Industrial Revolution was good because, and then give reasons to support your answer. Now this chart we have already seen. It is on the sheet that you filled out when you were watching the video about the Industrial Revolution. It has pros, so positive things that happened as a result of the Industrial Revolution, but also cons. These were some of the negative things that happened after the Industrial Revolution. So we are going to be summarizing these pros and cons onto this chart here that you will be putting inside your flipbook. So your job is to use the pros versus cons chart on your video guide to pick a word and short explanation to sum up each pro and con in your own words. So I will show you an example of what I mean by this. You will be looking at each one of the pros and each one of the cons and thinking of a word that would summarize the whole pro or the whole con. Here's an example of what I mean. Here for this one, people received a better education. I'm going to think, what is one word I can use to summarize this one pro? I decided that I think the word education would be a good word to use. Now I'm going to just have a really quick explanation for why I wrote down this word education. So when you're writing this, you are not going to be copying what I wrote for the pros and cons. You're going to put it in your own words. Really important. So for education, you might put, people had better schooling. It means the same thing, but it is in your own words. So you are going to do this for every single pro on the chart on your video guide and every single con in the chart on your video guide. Next, you will use the words that you came up with to make a word cloud. Here are some examples of what a word cloud is. Here it says below is an example of a word cloud with U.S. history terms. So there are all these words that describe U.S. history over time. All these things had something to do with U.S. history. What they did is they chose some different colors to put the words in. They mixed up the words and put them in different directions and made this word cloud. Here's another one about Australia. So same thing, all of these words describe Australia, and they put them in different directions, different orders, all over. And this one is kind of cool because they put it so the outline of the word cloud looks like the country of Australia. So now your job is to organize your words that sum up the pros and cons of the Industrial Revolution into a word cloud. So that's like the word that I chose, education, that would go in the word cloud. The other 13 words that you came up with will also go in the word cloud. Use colors and organize the words into any shape you'd like. Be creative. So that is your job that you need to get done today. It'll be due tomorrow.